let's recap the Hawks and the Nets from Brooklyn today. The Hawks kind of in a tailspin. They need to get back on track. They welcome Paul Millsap back to the floor in this game. Would it be enough?
They were terrible without him in his injury.
Trevor Booker using the glass. Millsap not on the floor there, guarding Trevor Booker. Booker had a nice game. Has his team up 5 at that juncture. It's a 3-point advantage when Tim Hardaway Jr. clanks one off back iron. Kent Bazemore grabs the rebound and finds Dwight Howard for the easy flush. Pulls the Hawks to within 1. Howard had 11 points and 11 rebounds. His fantasy production is going to take a big hit with Millsap back in the lineup. He had been pretty good as of late, playing a lot of minutes. Third quarter, Brook Lopez with the block. Jeremy Lin goes the other way. Kick to Karis LeVert. Buries that 3, nets up 4. Later in the quarter, Lin looking for Lopez again. Brook is having a great season shooting the basketball. Look at that. I mean, it wasn't pretty. Looked like his brother Robin shooting the basketball, but he had 29 points, 5 blocks in this game. And the Hawks fall in Brooklyn to the Nets 91-82.
You know what?
We thought they were going to be a playoff team for sure. You get Paul Millsap back in this game, you still lose, and they're falling themselves down to the bottom of the Eastern Conference playoff picture. They may fall out of it if they're not careful down the stretch.
In 6th right now. 2 full games ahead of Miami, who's the 8th spot. And then you have Indiana, who's on the other side of the line. They don't have the tiebreaker with Miami, but they have the same exact record. So basically, 2 safe games ahead of being completely out of the playoffs. And when I say safe, it's not safe at all because they're playing like garbage. I mean, you look at the Hawks, they're 2-8 in their last 10 games. They struggled without Paul Millsap. Now you get Millsap back in. There had to be a feeling for Coach Budenholzer and the rest of this Hawks organization, like, okay, fine. Paul's back, our best player's back, the heart and soul of the team, a guy we can dump down to in the post when we need a bucket, and it's the Nets. This is all going to get right real quick here. That's great. Well, you get Paul Millsap in there, you still lose convincingly to a Nets team. And not only that, but you score 82 points. It just don't look impressive. They don't look like a playoff team. And I'm hard-pressed to think they're going to make the playoffs. I think the only thing that might save them from missing out on the playoffs is just time. The fact that there's just not enough sand in the sand aisle to allow Indiana, Miami, and Chicago all to have left Atlanta. But it's crazy. Like 3 weeks ago, they were competing with Toronto for the 4 spot in the Eastern Conference. And there wasn't even talk. Imagine if they could slip out. They're close. They weren't close. Then they lose 5 straight, 8 straight. Then all of a sudden it's close. Now it's really close, and with the way some of these other teams are playing, the Hawks have no identity, they have no confidence, and they're either going to narrowly make it as a 7 or an 8 because they get lucky that time ran out on whoever doesn't make it in, or they're not going to make it. I can't decide which right now, but with this loss to a Nets team, it's not good. I know the Nets have played better. And I know Brook Lopez is a force, but I would have to say if I had to go one way or another, they're going to miss the playoffs. They're just playing like absolute